Welcome to another episode of Straight Shooting Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Dujane Bland. And today we're talking about the Packers and the Ravens matchup coming up here this weekend. And I tell you what, both teams are kind of playing above expectations. I know Ravens are Super Bowl champions, but they lost a lot of players on both sides of the ball, losing their fearless leader in Ray Lewis, losing Anquan Bolden, but they still are managing to win football games even without a healthy Ray Rice. Now we look at the Packers. I think some are surprised that the Packers have struggled the way they have, but we talked about it in the offseason. They don't have the same offensive line, not a lot of protection still, even though they did go out in the draft and manage to get some running backs and get a running game established. But as we saw last week, they were able to do a lot of both. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and he makes plays. And the receivers that they have run crisp routes. Even without Greg Jennings, they're still making plays. And now we're starting to see the emergence of Jermichael Finley as well. Now, when you look at this matchup, it's going to be a tough matchup. I think it favors the Packers, and we're going to take the Packers. Reason being, I think the Packers defense is a little bit more tenacious, a lot faster than the Ravens defense. And we know what Aaron Rodgers can do. He's a great quarterback. He makes adjustments on the fly. And he's going to throw this defense a curveball. And with Eddie Lacy out there and them being able to use Lacy and Franklin, I think they're going to be able to have enough of a combination of run and pass to take advantage of that Ravens defense. And, of course, Joe Flacco, the inconsistencies there as he started the year. I can see some turnovers being had here by Joe Flacco, and that's going to be the difference in this football game. Now let's take a look at some other matchups around the league. We're going to start with the Seahawks and the Titans. Seahawks lose a close one to the Colts. They have an opportunity to come out here and a team that they're clearly better than and get another win. I expect the Seahawks to really overwhelm this Titans team and get the win here. We look at the Broncos and the Jaguars. Do I need to say any more? I'm going to say Peyton Manning and Peyton Manning for the win. Broncos in this one. Saints and Pats. Brady didn't look so Brady-ish last week, did he? And I don't expect Brady to look so Brady-ish this week either. Rob Ryan has that defense of the Saints playing extremely well. I know a lot of people think it's because Sean Payton coming back as well, but let's give credit where credit is due. Rob Ryan wasn't the problem in Dallas. He's not the problem at all. He's doing an excellent job here with the players that he has in New Orleans, and I expect Drew Brees to be Drew Brees, light it up. Saints in this football game. We'll look at the 49ers and the Cardinals. Cardinals up and down. I mean, is Carson Palmer lost it? Because it sure looks like it. He looks very, very inconsistent. I don't think he's much different than how he played with the Oakland Raiders. We know what the 49ers are doing. Great on defense. They're swarming to the ball. Kaepernick seems to be starting to settle down, and I expect them to take advantage of this football team. I'm taking the 49ers in this one. And last but not least, it's Andrew Luck and the Colts against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Chargers, tough loss against the Oakland Raiders. Sorry, but that football team of the Colts is just playing very well, very smooth, very precise. I'm taking Andrew Luck in this football game. We're taking the Colts to beat the Chargers. And that's our look around the league. Now we're going to look at another matchup, the Rams and the Texans. Now, interestingly enough, we all know the Rams, since Jeff Fisher has gotten there, to have a little bit of nasty. Seemed they kind of lost a little bit of that nasty, don't you think? Defense is not as rugged and not as fearless as they have been in the past year. Offense seems to be struggling, and Sam Bradford is not looking like the Sam Bradford that we think or we thought he could be. When you look at the Texans, boy, Schaub, I mean, how many times do you throw that out route and you not see the defender standing right there? Right there. I mean, it's almost kind of as if he's blindly throwing the ball over there. 4 times this year, in the past consecutive times this year, he has had pick sixes for touchdowns. Now, I know a lot of folks are thinking about, because he was benched at the end of that, at the middle of that game, because it was pretty much out of hand, that it's going to affect his career. Look, man, they don't have anybody in Houston to go to, so Schaub is your guy. And I think you saved the guy from himself in that game. He's going to come back. Hopefully he'll be renewed. Hopefully he'll have some kind of confidence, and you put the guy in position to be able to make plays, build his confidence so that he can go out and execute without being concerned or overly concerned about making the big mistake, especially the big mistake that goes back for 6. Now, the Texans should be able to go back on track, get back on track here, and that's why I'm taking them in this football game. We're looking at a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of team in the Rams. They can't seem to get the job done on a consistent basis. You've got a tenacious defense in the Houston Texans with J.J. Watt leading the charge, swatting things down, getting to your quarterback, harassing you down after down. And we've seen what happens to Sam Bradford when he's harassed. I expect the Texans to do that here. I expect to see Matt Schaub get back on track and start moving the football and not making that big mistake that turns into 6 points for the opposing team. Well, we thank you for watching our show. Again, if you have some comments on our show, please leave them at the bottom of our show, and we will keep the dialogue going with you. If there's something you'd like to hear us talk about, something you'd like to hear our take on, please shoot us an email to straightshootingst@gmail.com. And as always, subscribe to the show. That's how you stay locked in. Again, you've been watching another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk.